Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let's do at least a partial playthrough. We'll do a few turns at least of Pocket Paladin. This is my micro adventure game. The whole game, all the components fit inside a single card sleeve, but it's meant to give you like an epic overland adventure feel. So crunchy, complex, but small form factor is the goal. And it's going to be for anybody coming from Mage Knight, you're going to see the lineage. I tried to create an experience that feels a lot like Mage Knight, but with the size constraint that I wanted. So hopefully you can see that. Let's get started here. I'm going to do setup. I'm actually going to play with the purple paladin. I did the rules video with the red paladin, so we're going to go purple. I'll explain some of the things I'm doing, but I mostly want to just let you see me play a few turns, so I'm not going to explain absolutely everything as I go. Uh, we're going to set our crystal inventory to 0. I gave myself a D6 here because I don't know how to roll this on TTS, so we're going to roll this. What do we got? That's a 6, so that's 6 rotations. That's going to leave us back where we started with that blue crystal in the source. I'm going to put this on its starting space there. You can see it has that little star in the top left of the box, so we're going to put it right there. Set up our paladin over here. I'm going to put her right there. This is our wound marker since it has the red flip side, so we're going to put that there. Here's the turn track. We're going to start on round 1 and level 1. I'm going to play normal difficulty. There's going to be just a bunch of ways you can tweak the difficulty in terms of the length of time you give yourself and the challenge level with the castle at the end. We're going to play against the purple castle, by the way, so I'm going to put that as my starting map card here. And the purple paladin, you'll notice, starts with an ally space. That's the difference between the purple paladin and the red one, is their upgrades are flip-flopped. The red paladin starts with a skill instead of an ally space. So we don't just get an ally automatically. We get one when we recruit one. All right, we're going to populate the wandering enemies here. And we're all set up other than I got to give us a market here. Okay, let's just investigate what we have there. That's for movement. Attack, that would be nice, and magic attack. We are magic, so it would be nice to double down on that. But okay, we're ready for turn 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to really plan on trying to take out this guy here. So, because that's low-hanging fruit, right? We can move here and then maybe heal up in that healing garden right there and then try to take on this other wandering monster. We could try to jump this tunnel, but I don't want to do that right now because we're pretty weak and we'd have to potentially take on a tower enemy that would devastate us. So we're going to avoid that for the time being. So my route that I'm planning is to take on this guy, work my way here, stop here if I need to, which I likely will, and then kind of zip back around and park it at this town. And then finally, that's going to be the one place where we get to recruit our first ally, which is disappointing. We don't have a way to get an ally ahead of that, so we're going to be on our own for a while, but maybe we can get 1 or 2 skill upgrades as we go. So let's investigate this guy. Okay, he's got a trap ability, which means it's going to make us lose a turn if we take that damage, but it's not all that much damage. That would be 2 wounds if we had to take that damage. The problem is going to be defeating that 5 HP, because we are not quite that hardy at the moment. And we have blue in the source. Let's look what we got here on our card. Where can we go from here? From here, we could go to this space, or this space. We're going to need to move first, and I want to move to a space that allows us to do an attack next. And so I'm seeing if we move up here as our first ability, we could use this attack as our next ability. But then, so basically I'm kind of taking, having to take that damage as a given, which is unfortunate because we basically lose a turn from that trap effect. But now I'm just trying to puzzle out how the heck do we get to 5 attack? There's 4 magic damage there. So we could move here. That would work. That would work. We're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to, first ability, move there for 2. I'm going to use that top action. So I'm going to move in, and we have to fight that guy. I'm going to actually take him over here so we can puzzle this out underneath our ability card here. So we moved in. We're taking on this monster enemy. I'm going to go ahead and take this arrow back this direction, and we're just going to use it for 1 physical melee attack. So if you recall from the rules video, I had to stuff this in afterwards because I forgot to say it, but instead of using the ability for the stated values here, you can use it for one of the standard ability types, and the standard attack type is melee physical. So instead of using it for the top or the bottom, we can't use this bottom. We have no purple crystals, so we could use the top, but I'm gonna need that to get to this 5. So you'll see what I'm gonna do here. We used our first ability this turn to move into that space. Next ability, we're gonna, well, actually, technically the next step, we're gonna skip the range phase. We don't have range attack. We're going to soak that damage. We're just gonna let him hit us. So that is hitting us for 3, and our armor right now is 2. So that unfortunately means we take 2 wounds. And then because of that trap ability, we have to advance our turn marker immediately, which is huge. It's not quite as bad as taking wounds, because wounds you have to heal later, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe it is as bad, because if we could get to healing those wounds first. Anyway, doesn't matter. It had to be done. So we soaked his damage during the block phase, and now it's the attack phase, or the melee phase, so we can attack him back. We have 2 abilities remaining. So I'm going to use this for 1 physical melee attack, and then we're going to... Oh no, we don't have any black. Oh man, I spent this whole time thinking we were going to use that bottom action. What was I thinking? Okay, yeah, this is Mage Knight, so we're going to back up. We're going to back up, we're going to try that again. Man, how are we going to get to 5? We have to move into the space. We're not going to be able to get there. So we're just going to kind of throw a turn away here. Bummer. So let's reset this stuff. We're going to have to try to hope for something better, because that blue doesn't get us much. So what we're going to do, we're going to use first action to move there, right next to this. Then we're going to use our next action to crystallize this blue crystal with this top action. So I'm going to move there for my second ability, spend that, and then we get to keep a blue. And the only reason we're doing that, we can't really make that good a use of blue crystals right now, but we want to re-roll this and get something else next turn. And then let me look at what our options are. Right, I think, how could we get to, yeah, we can't get to 5 unless because we have to move in, and then we have 2 actions left. We don't have anything that's going to do 3 attack. Okay, I'm back. I got interrupted, but we are back. We used our second action or ability to do that, and I think I'm just going to abandon and not use my third ability. So that, unfortunately, is our first turn. We're going to advance the turn marker. That's the only thing that happens, except we get to reset this. So we're going to roll the die, and we get to rotate it 3. So 1, 2, 3. That is what we needed. So you can see we have a black and a blue option there. We can use one of those 2. We needed the black to happen, and we got it. So this is a tough enemy, man, especially when we're weak at the start. So we're going to move in. We're going to do what we tried to do last turn. We're going to move in. I'll move this over here so we can have it in front of us, kind of. That's our first ability. Then we're going to just take that damage, unfortunately. So we have 2 armor against this 3 attacks, so we have to take 2 wounds. That trap ability means we advance our turn marker, and our second action, we're going to use this for the standard physical melee, and then we're going to use this for a powered up, we're going to spend this black crystal from the source for a powered up 4 magic attack. We're going to add that to our 1 physical attack for a total of 5 attack. He's not resistant to anything, so we don't have to worry about that, and that's enough to beat the guy. Wow. So we get to take him as XP. Those were our 3 abilities, and then this is enough to level up. So we have 3 XP over here. The next level up, it's hard to see, but it to get to level 2, it costs us 3, and we want that. So we're going to cash that in. You can level up as soon as you are able. And we're going to take this up to there, and that gives us a new skill. So now we're going to look at the skills. That lets you advance on your ability card for free. So it's kind of like skipping one of your abilities that's not helpful. That could be useful. This gives you a free 2 physical defense or 2 movement each turn. I think that might be the route we go, because we're a little light on movement with this character. And then this lets you move through mountains and gives you black crystal if you park it on a mountain. I'm going to take this one. So we're going to take this skill and replenish. Doesn't matter which pile because they have the same. What came out? Ooh, that would be nice. That gives you a black crystal. Oh man. Hopefully that's still out when we level up next. Okay. Let's see. So I got to make sure we got our turns right. Our first turn we moved up to here. That was turn 2. Our first turn we moved up to there. Then our next turn we moved in and had to advance it. So yeah, we have to do this. Okay. So it's technically turn 4. We've only taken 3 turns, but we hit that trap ability. So it's like he trapped us and we had to hang out there for a while. We'll roll the shard for the source. We're going to rotate it 1. And now there's purple in the source. Okay. So we get 1 free block or, well, 2 free block or 2 free movement. That's actually quite handy. So I think we're going to go ahead and move in here and try to set ourselves up for taking on this flying enemy over here. So, man, I'd really love to get through this first card. We don't have that many. So in the standard game, you have 2 full days. There's more room on the track just in case you're playing an easier mode and you want to give yourself more time. But in the standard game, you have 2 full days. And I like to try to be through the first card on the first half a day, so the first day, and then be in the second card the first night. But I don't know if we're going to get quite that far. So we need to move into this desert, and the desert is expensive to move through at night. And I lost my character when I did that. There she is. Whoops. Okay, we were right here. Desert is expensive to move through during the day. It's 5 during the day. You can see on our reference card there at the bottom, it's 5 during the day. So it's going to cost us, where did this come from? Right there. It's going to cost us 5 to get into that desert, and that's probably going to be this whole turn. So we don't have access to these white ones yet, or else that would be very nice. So we could go 1, 2, 1. Well, we get the free movement. I got to remember that. So we get 2 free movement per turn. That's fantastic. So we go, shucks, it's not going to be as efficient as I want it to be. That's okay though. 1. Yeah, so we got to do this. We got to do 1, 2. And I'm just going to go here for 3 and then use this for the remaining 2. And that gets us into here. So that's the end of that turn. But we also get to heal up 1, which is nice. That actually gives us 2 final turns. Well, it gives us more turns because we healed up 1 there. So that's great. It gives us 1 more turn than we would have had. That's the way to say that. I would love to take on this enemy, and that would be part of leveling up. We probably won't level up then until we go take on that enemy, which is a shame. But we could recruit an ally here, which will power us up quite a bit. So we didn't use the source shard, so we're not going to re-roll that. Now we're going to think about this. We have to move in there, and it's going to cost us 3 because it's forest during the day. And it's a flying enemy. Flying enemies are quite tough. You need precision if you're going to use range attacks in the range phase. We don't really have access to any range attacks as the Purple Paladin yet. When we level up, there's like 1 range attack we have access to. And there's some skills that can convert melee to range. But the other thing about flying enemies is you need range during the melee phase, or else your attacks are inefficient. So we're actually going to need 6 attack to defeat this enemy. That's tough. Um, Man, if we were the red paladin, we might just be able to pick this enemy off if we had precision. Okay, so we got to move in. We get our 2 free movement. Man, that's going to be handy. So we get our 2 free movement, which I think we're going to have to use. And then what sets us up to be able to deal 6 damage? I want something other than purple. Well, so we can get 4 physical melee attack. I'm just thinking about probably soaking this damage again, which will only be 1 wound because we have 3 armor, so it won't be so bad. So we can move in with anything because we get this 2 free movement, and we only need 3. So I could take any one of my abilities here is going to get us in, and then we just want 6 attack. Oh, I see it. I see a way we can do this. So we're going to move here, or we're going to use this ability. We're going to use it for a standard 1 movement. We're going to use this. We get 2 free movement per turn. That'll get us into this space. So I'm going to pop that guy over there so it's easier to see. We're going to soak that damage. So we're skipping the range phase. During the block phase, we're not going to play any block. We can't block him, or we don't have enough actions remaining to block him and then also be able to defeat him. So we're going to just take that 3 attack and take 1 wound because our armor is 3, which unfortunately means this is going to be our last turn because that blocks off that 6th turn. But I don't see any way around it. I still think this is the best thing to do. Then we need 6 attack because remember our melee attacks are inefficient against flying enemies. And the way we're going to get there is we're going to do this action next. We're going to use that top action, which can be 2 physical or 2 physical melee attack. So we have the option. So we're going to use it for the attack. So there's 2 attack, and then we're going to take this arrow down here, power that up with this purple shard from the source, and that gets us 4 melee attack, which gets us to 6 total attack. He's not resistant to anything except for our melee attacks were inefficient, but we got to the 6, so he's defeated. That 2 experience is not enough to level up. We're going to need 5, but that gets us closer. So we'll reset. Actually, that's the end of the round because our wounds block off that 6th turn. So we're going to reset, play the next round, reset the turn marker. We advance, so now it's nighttime of day 1. So it's the back half of day 1. And we reset the source. We rolled oh wait, I didn't roll it. There we go. I just rotated it. A 6, that takes us right back to the purple. That's too bad. And then we're going to reset the market. Get some new faces out there. That's too bad. I really wanted, I forget which skill it was, but we were looking at one of those skills that was really tempting. And I won't worry about those until we have opportunity. Actually, one thing I forgot, during the day, we moved adjacent to that mage tower, so we know what's in there. Now, tower enemies are real tough. I don't know if we're going to stand a chance with what we have, because you double the attack and you double the hit points. So we'd have to block 4 attack or just take it, and then we'd have to deal with 8. Yeah, we're not going to get there. So what we're going to do is probably try to make it to that town next and ignore this enemy. Let us figure out we need 2 movement to get into here and then another 3 to get into the town. Well, the 2 can come from this. We get 2 per turn. Man, that's handy. So we'll just do that and then another 3, but I want to position myself to have a good influence turn. And where's our influence action? There's 1 right there. Is that it? Oh, and 1 right here. And there is purple in the source. So if we could set ourselves up. 1, 2. My plan is not coming together like I wanted it to. How could we set ourselves up to get both of those influence actions on the same turn? Think, 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 think. We haven't moved this yet, so we could go 1, 2. Oh yeah, I can figure this out. So there's ability 1, that's 2 movement, and ability 2, yeah, that's 3 movement. Because we'll use this for standard 1 movement. And now we're in there. Okay, that was turn 1. And now we're in the city. Or the town. This is great. We're going to heal up for sure. And so we're just going to generate as much influence as we can. So let's see what we can do here. We have that blue shard, or that blue crystal saved. So we're going to use that to use this for 4 influence. Use this for a standard 1 influence. And then spend that source crystal for another 4. So that's 8, 9. We have 9 influence. That's huge. So we're going to use, let's see how expensive these are to recruit. So their recruitment cost is on that far left side there. Ooh, 3 range attack. That's fun. That's defense. Ooh, that's a lot of defense. So what are we short on? We're more short on attack. We don't really have that much use for range because we don't have supporting range yet. Man, I'm torn. I'm torn. What do these enemies look like? Ooh, that one we could maybe hit with range. Oh, he's got physical resistance. And so does that one. Oh, shucks. So this isn't that helpful for us. I think we're going to recruit the defense guy. So there's 4 of our 9. We have an ally. Yay! He's in our single ally slot. And then we have 5 left. So we're going to use 4 of it to heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think call it good. Shucks. So now I'm debating. No, you know what? We're not going to heal fully. We're going to use 2 of those to buy a black crystal. Okay, that's the end of that turn. We'll reset the source here. Rolled a 4, so we'll rotate this 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have blue and purple in the source. That's great. That complements our black crystal quite nicely. All right. Let's see if we can beat this guy. So this is kind of a toughie here. So we need 2 to move in, but this one lets us do that for free. This has been so handy, especially early on. So we need, he's physically resistant, so we want magic if we can drum up the magic attack. Where's our magic attacks? Over here. There's one of them. Actually, that's it. That's all the magic attack we have, but that would do it. And so actually, that's easy. That's all we need to do. So we're going to use this to move in. We're not even going to use our, oh wait, maybe we do want to, yeah, we're going to, bummer. Oh, think this through. How are we going to do this? So we moved in for free. I would like to block. I'm tired of taking damage, and 6 is a lot. So we could spend this guy to block 5 of it, but we need 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do it. So we'll just use this for 2 physical block. We'll spend this guy, or exhaust him, for the rest that blocks. So cool, we block during the block phase, and you'll find that with the purple paladin, blocking is more of a viable strategy. And then we're gonna actually, so that was our first one, right? No, we were right here. We were right here, right? Yeah, we were right here. So 1, 2, we're actually gonna save one of these crystals. So let's save a purple one. And then 3, third ability, this is our final ability. We're going to spend our 1 black crystal we have to power this up for that 4 magic attack. He's not resistant to magic, so that's plenty good to defeat him. And that actually went very well. Cool. So that's the end of the turn. And we'll re-roll the die. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to level up. So here's 4 plus 2 is 6. That's enough to level us. And we're going to refill the market. I forgot to do that. So we spend our 6. You don't get any change back because we only needed 5. And we level up to level 3 there. We have another ally slot, so we can recruit another ally. And the most important thing that just happened is we've upgraded. You can see based on the outline color of the number 3 level, we now have white. We have access to white routes here, so we can make it to this space and we can make it to this space. Those are the 2 new spaces that have opened up to us. So now we have some really good block, and we have some range attack, and we have an amazing move and influence. This is, to me, this is the standout one. We have lots of influence and move. So cool. We are right here as of right now. If we don't take any more damage, we have this turn, next turn, next turn. We have up to 3 turns left. Can we make it all the way to here? He's just sitting on grassland, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 2 free from here. A trap and deadly, so we really want to block that. But it's not that hard to block that. Or we could just injure our ally. So can we get up there? Yeah, we can get up there for sure. I might just move using this one, and then, all right, one way or another, we're going to make this happen. So I'm going to move using this one. That gets us 4 movement. We're going to go up and take on this enemy. It's going to do, I'm thinking back. I'm hoping I played it right. I think I forgot to account when I was blocking in the last combat. I think I forgot to account for what type of block it was, but I feel like we overshot it, so we probably had it either way. Too bad. I wish I could. I'll go back and look after I'm done recording, but that was our first ability. We need to defeat this guy with our 2 remaining abilities. So there's 2 physical block. Too bad this is a magic attack. Oh, I see we can do it. Oh, this is great. Okay, this is the game at its best, you guys. So we did our first ability to move. Our second ability this turn we're going to use for the 2 physical block, the top action there. We're going to combine that with the 2 free physical block that we get. That's inefficient, but it's still enough because we played 4 physical block. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's still enough to block that 2 magic attacks. So we don't have to reckon with the trap or the deadly abilities. That's awesome. And then from here, we're going to route ourselves down here. We're going to use that. Oh, no, 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 no. We can't do it. Oh, we need a magic attack because he's resistant. Okay, shucks. Here I was going to show off. Oh, bummer. Okay, let's think this through again. So we moved in. We might have to soak this attack. So we could block from here. That's the only place we can go from here. Or we could go a different route. We could use this for move 2, use our skill for the other move 2, and from here we'd have 2 remaining actions. And could I block and then attack? Oh, bummer. I think one way or another we're going to take the hit. So trying to think what we're going to do here. Let's try it again this way. So we would move here. We could get 2 physical attack. And then we might have to spend our crystal. another 4 physical attack because we don't have black to get access to our magic attack. Oh, this guy's trickier than I wanted him to be. So yeah, we get there if we spend this crystal to power this up and then use that basic attack for 2. So that's a total of, so 4 plus 2 is we did 6 physical attack. This guy's physically resistant, so it halves that. Our attack is inefficient, but that's enough to get that 3 hit points. But we did have to soak that damage, so bummer. So first off, we do the trap that advances that, and now we have to flip this, and we take the 2 attack, so our 3 armor takes that in 1 wound. But since it was deadly, we have to flip, and now we're injured. So next time we have a combat, we're going to have to give ourselves an automatic wound. And maybe the worst part about that is that ends our round because we've hit the end of the turn track here because we got wounded. So, all right, we'll refresh all of these guys. This guy goes over here. We have the 2 XP. We're going to re-roll the source. Rotate it 1, that's good. Black in the source is good. Black and purple, that's about as good as that goes. And we'll give ourselves a fresh market here. We'll see how much time I have. I'll probably try to play out this rest of this round here. I don't know if I'll have time to get to the castle, but when you face the castle, it's just 3 enemies, tower enemies, fortified enemies. Tower and fortified, I guess, but tower means fortified. You face 3 tower enemies of the castle type that you're going to face. So since we were going to face the purple castle, we would face 3 purple enemies at the castle, and we need to do that before the end of day 2. I forgot to advance the turn marker, so it's day again, but it's daytime of day 2. All right. I'd like to get to that town so we can fill our empty ally spot. Is there an ally worth going after? That's influence. Oh, bummer. Nothing with attack. That's what I really want. Shoot. Okay. I still think that might be the way to go because we're going to want to recruit. Could we level up? So we need 6 to level up, and we have 2 here. So we need 4 to level up. Could we make it to this maze? That's going to take 3 to move into, 2 to navigate the maze, 1 as the sunk cost. You'll have to go back and review how, sorry, I keep saying maze because it's like a maze in Mage Knight. It's a storm. So you have to review what the storms are on the card. They're a little bit confusing. So we would need, I'm just trying to figure out, calculating how much movement we would need to actually make this happen and level up, which would be cool. I don't know if we're going to get there. So we would need 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. We would need 10 total movement to level ourselves up. Could we even sniff that? Well, here's 2 for free. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can get there. Okay, so we're going to move in for 3. Well, let's just generate our movement first. So 2 from here, 3, 4 for the top action, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the top action. Zip back up here for our third ability to 9, 10, 11. We're going to spend the black crystal in the source, and that gets us to enough XP that combined with this, right? Because 11, and I said we needed 10. Yeah, so that gets us there. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this maze is going to allow us to level up. I keep saying maze. It's a storm. So we moved in here. We got to level up. That's fantastic. That was pretty cool. So we get to grab a skill and our armor increased. That heals you. Might be kind of nice for us, actually. This turns melee attacks into range attacks. We're going to start facing tower enemies, and I don't have a good way to get precision, so I'm not going to worry about that. Speaking of precision. Okay, we're going to take the healing skill. Man, we're a little bit underpowered in terms of our firepower, but I'm going to exhaust this right away, use the first one to heal that injury, and then the next one to heal that wound. Okay, that was a pretty good turn. Let's move. Let's move into this town and see who we can recruit. Be a good one. It's fine. That's not very good. I wish we had. I mean, we could get the movement guy. I wish we had some better prospects there. So maybe we don't go to the town. Maybe we go try to take on this tower enemy. We have some block. I don't have any crystals though. Oops, we need to re-roll this shard. So, okay, in terms of strategy, I think I'm going to go, that just cycles it around. I think I'm going to play it slow here, go to this town and buy some crystals and heal up fully. So we're going to use 2 movement from here, and then, shucks. Yeah, we'll go down here for 1, for our first one. We'll then, that moves us in. We'll then spend this for 4, spend that purple crystal, and then, shucks, move what over here for 5. So we've generated 5 crystals, or 5 influence. The only one we could recruit are one of these 2. Do we want the movement? Maybe. Sure. There's we spent 2, we filled that slot. We have 3 more. Man, I think I want crystals more than I want, because I have the healing here. That'll come next round. I think I want crystals, so I'm going to buy 1 black crystal here. Okay. That's the end of that turn. We'll re-roll the source. That's a 6. That just takes it all the way around. And we are just dawdling, right? We haven't even gotten past the first. Oh, wait, no. We're way up here. Sorry, I was looking at this. Let's explore. So we'll spend the 2, and we'll have 2 left over. We'll just get rid of this guy since his map is going away. Oops. There we go. So that was 2 of it. We're going to use, I'm going to populate that right away. Huh. Should we use our next 2 to explore? All right, sorry everybody. You may have noticed a bunch of cuts. I'm also watching my kids while I'm doing this, so they're getting a little rowdy. I think I'm going to wrap it up. You saw me explore. We may have tried to move into this wandering enemy, and then we would have been faced with some tougher terrain here, and we didn't have that much time left. We were going to need to, in the span of this day, work our way up here. I probably would have tried to take on this tower after this if I had time. Just to level up one more time, because one more level up, 8 XP would have taken us into green territory here, and that would open up these 2 really powerful abilities, and I think we would have really wanted that going into this castle. So we would have probably tried to defeat this guy. That would have given us 3, and then get there the rest of the way. We would have had to done something special in this maze, which maybe we could have because we have this move. And then I would have probably hoped for the day to reset, or sorry, for the round to reset, and then in this last round, I would have planned on using that whole round to take on these 3 enemies, because we would have taken a lot of wounds. So it would have been tight whether we could make it. So, but I think we could have had time. I think we were doing okay in terms of pacing, better than I thought. But we're a little bit underpowered in terms of firepower. So my hope would have been to have drawn into some better skills that would amplify my power a little bit in terms of attack. So I think we're doing good on block and move, actually, but otherwise, we would have had to really chip away at these enemies. So I don't know if we would have got it, but anyway, hopefully that was helpful for you to get the flow of the game down. Hopefully this combined with the rules video would get you there. And yeah, I hope you check out the game. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.